Hey everybody, we are live here at DigiMarCon in LA, and we're in the Texpo, and I am with Rob from Omega Accounting, and I am getting the opportunity to speak with him about his company and what he's doing here at Texpo. So Rob, you want to give us a little intro about your company and what you do at Omega?
Sure. So Omega basically does everything that leads up to the work that your tax preparer or CPA would do. So everything from bookkeeping, part-time CFO work, different tax incentive studies, all of that work that leads up to the actual CPA's job.
Okay, so who are you hoping to speak with here at Texpo at DigiMarCon, and what are you hoping to tell them?
Sure. So a lot of what we do has to do with innovation in the United States and different tax incentives that might be available to businesses. So when you think of like an ad agency or marketing firm, you don't really think of like chemists curing cancer or coming up with new drugs or anything like that, right?
Right.
But many of those companies have software developers on staff and web developers on staff, and they often overlook the fact that they're entitled to certain tax incentives for bringing that type of work back to the United States. So we're out here just making sure people know about it.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about that. How would you go into more detail around that?
Sure. So the research and development tax credit has been around in the U.S. for over 35 years. And if you go back far enough, you had to be doing things like curing cancer and coming up with new drugs and whatnot. A lot of that changed in 2003. So if there's some sort of technical unknown for the company that has to be kind of iteratively solved, then the company is entitled to a tax credit. Now, if you think about software development and web development, it kind of lends itself naturally to that niche. Unfortunately, while it is the largest tax incentive out there in the U.S., it's also the one that's most commonly overlooked because folks think, well, it doesn't apply to my business. And so we're just spreading the word that, hey, if you have technical people doing technical things in the U.S., this may be something that you've overlooked for your business.
Interesting. So how would they get in touch with you, and what should someone do if they're interested in that?
Yeah, they can go to our website, omegarnd.com, and they can ask about that in particular. If they want to hear about some of our other service offerings as it relates to bookkeeping or financial integrations with different APIs, those are all services that we provide.
Great. Awesome. So as far as your industry, do you feel like there's any, where do you feel like your industry is heading, and what is the future of your industry?
Well, it's becoming increasingly politicized. So there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of use of accounting methods as political bargaining chips, which is something kind of new that we hadn't seen before. Generally speaking, bringing innovation to the United States is always positive press for all politicians, right? But now in the last couple of years, we're seeing different accounting methods and treatments being held hostage for different political agendas. And that's just a very controversial thing that we've never seen before in the accounting industry, at least not in the work that I've done.
So how are you weaving that into what you do at Omega? Like, what are you doing with that knowledge of it becoming more and more aware?
Well, a lot of the accounting methods that are changing and the tax treatments that are changing, businesses need to be cognizant of the fact that these things affect them, first of all. And you want to be proactive with that sort of thing, because if you sit around and wait for the IRS to figure it out, they're not going to find in your favor, right? So you need to proactively identify these issues before they impact your business and plan around them. It's also not fair to the IRS. They kind of get a bad rap. But at the end of the day, if you're not playing by the rules and you're not laying out a framework for them to function within, then realistically, what can you expect when they do come to your door?
Yeah, makes sense. So what else would you like everybody to know? Anything else that you would like to share with us?
Just that we're taking really complex, big business issues and we're making them available to the common man and woman and making them available to small to mid-sized companies.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for taking some time to talk.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. All right.
Does that work?